I'm going to tell you why you need to get to one freaking Bitcoin. I know it's been said before. I don't care. I know it's hard. Stack sats as hard as you can and get to one Bitcoin. Because let me ask you something that sounds kind of weird, but if you went to a random sporting event anywhere in the world, say a packed stadium of 70,000 people, how many people in that stadium do you think owns one full Bitcoin or more? The answer is most likely 7 people. 70,000 people in a giant stadium, 7 of them have one Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been around for 16 years. You'd think millions of people would have stacked one whole Bitcoin by now. But nope, not even close. It turns out that owning one Bitcoin might be one of the rarest financial milestones in the modern world. I'm not saying that just to hype it. I'm saying that because the math is actually insane when you really just look at it. Almost nobody has done it, and almost nobody can ever do it. So I'm about to show you how rare it is to get to one Bitcoin and why you need to make it your goal to get there or die trying. Real quick, you're watching the Sad Stacker Show, a Bitcoin show for people who think deeper about money. I'm your host. My name is John, aka the Sad Stacker, the Sad Daddy, the Mad Satter, or the Sat Man. Hit the subscribe button if you're interested in better understanding and growing your conviction in Bitcoin. So we can't know for sure how many people have one Bitcoin, but most serious estimates put it around probably 800,000 people. Could be 900,000, could be a million, could be 500,000, could be less. We don't know. But call it 800,000 people. And the world's population is about 8 billion people. So 800,000 out of 8 billion is literally 0.01% of the global population. 1 in every 10,000 people has made it to the mythical Wholecoiner status. You could walk through your entire city, talk to everyone in your office, your gym, your friend group, and you probably still wouldn't find a single person who has a full Bitcoin, unless it's you. It's rarer than being in the top 0.1% of fiat wealth and much rarer than being a fiat millionaire. You probably know that the total overall supply of Bitcoin that will ever exist is 21 million. Right now, only about 19.9 million of those Bitcoin have already been mined. And the last 1.1 million will come out over the next roughly 120 years. But millions of coins are also already lost forever or likely to never be moved again. Estimates are somewhere in the range of 2 to 4 million coins are already lost forever. You got wallets connected to Satoshi that are estimated to control about between 500,000 and 1 million Bitcoin that have never moved in 16 years, and we can reasonably assume may never move again. Factor in other early miner wallets from 2010, people who lost their keys, and long-term holders who will never sell. So I'm going to call it a rough estimate that there's 4 to 5 million Bitcoin that are never attainable again. So that means the real supply of Bitcoin that you have a chance to access is not 21 million. It's probably 16 or 17 million. And now stack that against 8 billion people in the world. Even if every fiat millionaire on earth wanted a full Bitcoin, they couldn't all have one. Quite possibly 3 out of every 4 fiat millionaires could not have one. There aren't enough whole coins to go around for every fiat millionaire, let alone for me, you, and everyone else out there still trying to stack. So every day, the window gets tighter and tighter. Every sat becomes more rare, and thousands and thousands and thousands of those sats get locked up forever. Meanwhile, the price keeps creeping up, the dollar keeps getting weaker, and the bar for hitting one full Bitcoin keeps moving further and further out of reach. Right now may still be the closest you'll ever be to owning one, and most people still have no idea. If you own a full Bitcoin, you're already part of one of the smallest, rarest financial clubs on earth. Forget being a fiat millionaire.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? A fucking whole coin.
If they keep printing money at this rate, someday everyone in the US is going to be a millionaire in dollar terms. And no, that's not a good thing. There are 60 million millionaires worldwide, but there are less than 1 million Wholecoiners. Owning one Bitcoin is more than 60 times rarer than being a millionaire. And if Bitcoin becomes what many of us believe it will, that one coin might be the single most important asset you ever own. Something that can't be diluted, printed, or inflated away. Something your kids and grandkids could still benefit from decades from now. That's what we're talking about here. Not just stacking sats for you, building generational wealth with a single digital asset that only a tiny fraction of humanity has started to understand. But most people don't actually believe they can ever hit one Bitcoin because most of them actually can't. They hear the price, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000, whatever it is, and they just check out. They think they're too late, it's too expensive, they've totally missed the boat. And they just stop right there. Meanwhile, some of those people will just drop $200 a month on coffee or Uber Eats. But the idea of putting that same $200 into Bitcoin, no, pointless. They're way too late. It's like there's a mental filter that stops them from seeing it as a real goal. The idea of owning a whole Bitcoin sounds like something only for whales or Michael Saylor or the Winklevoss twins. But the truth is, plenty of regular people have done it, and plenty of regular people still can do it. The ones who did it, they just started with something small. They just chipped away. They just dollar cost average. They just stayed focused. They believed it was possible. They didn't worry about the end goal. They just stuck with it long enough to actually hit that number. Because believe it or not, some people still don't know that you don't have to buy a whole coin all at once. You just need to not give up on it before you get there. Most people do not think long term at all. Most people just want instant results, or they want to wait till someone else tells them it's safe to jump in. They need a green light from the government or CNBC, but the people who actually make it, they just keep stacking quietly. They just zoom out, play the long game, front load the conviction, and let the math do the rest. And one day they check their wallet and boom, 1 Bitcoin, 100 million Satoshis, no fireworks, no headlines, just the quiet moment where you realize you did it. Maybe you post anonymously about it on Reddit and you don't tell a single soul that you know in your real life. And bam, there it is. You're the 1 in 10,000 people. You are the 0.01% of the world. And I know, I can hear most of you saying that you'll never get there. It'll take too long. It's too expensive. Stop thinking that way. Stop worrying about the dollar value. Oh, a lot of people say, but is it even worth it? Can Bitcoin even do a 10x anymore? When will it be 1 million? Oh, it's not like I can just retire on 1 Bitcoin. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess you're just better off gambling on meme coins and shit coins and 7-leg parlays on DraftKings, right? No, just stop. Stop thinking short term with the high time preference fiat mindset. Bitcoin is not gambling. Bitcoin is not an investment. Bitcoin is a new form of money. It is the best form of money that's ever existed. Some people say, what Bitcoin's utility? What's Bitcoin's use case? Oh, it's slower than Solana. Oh, you can't mint shitcoins on it. Stop with your crypto brain, all right? Zoom out and remember that money is the largest use case of any technology in the world. Money is one side of every transaction that occurs in the world. Storing value into the future is the problem with the largest total addressable market of any problem on Earth. It's estimated that there is currently $1,000 trillion of global wealth. That's $1 quadrillion of gold, art, cars, collectibles, equities, real estate, bonds, cash, etc. And further estimates are that roughly half of that wealth is just serving the purpose of store of value, meaning somebody has money, they want to be able to maintain the purchasing power or grow the purchasing power of that money into the future. So they want to own something that will maintain its value over time because they know that holding fiat money destroys the purchasing power and the value of the money. It leaks value every year as the supply of fiat money gets inflated. So they buy something else, investment property, bonds, stocks, gold, etc. So call it roughly $500 trillion is the total addressable market for the store of value problem. So again, what's Bitcoin's utility? What's its use case? The use case of money that doesn't lose its value over time is storing the wealth of every human on Earth to the tune of roughly $500 trillion worth. But we also know that that $500 trillion number doesn't stay static. It just keeps growing. So the total addressable market for the problem that Bitcoin solves never stops growing. What if you just pretend that there were only 21 million gold bars that would ever exist and they could never mine more? You don't think it would be a good idea to own one of them? What if there was another form of money that was invented that had all the same store of value properties as gold, but was also digitally transferable to anyone else in the world? So you had a unique form of money able to solve the store of value problem and the medium of exchange problem for 8 billion people. How long do you think it's going to take for the rest of the world to catch on to how valuable this thing really is? How long will it take for it to eat into more of that $500 trillion of wealth? Well, who knows how long it's going to take? And frankly, who cares? Because do you really not want to own 1/21 millionth of that opportunity? Right now, Bitcoin has eaten into about 2 trillion of that $500 trillion. So it's achieved 0.4% of its total addressable market of the store of value problem that it solves. And you still think you're too late. Gold has been around for 5,000 years, and it still runs up 50% in a year in dollar terms because of fears of fiat debasement around the world. And you think 16 years into Bitcoin and you're already too late. You think as time goes on, it'll be easier to own 1/21 millionth of this network that never gets diluted? I don't think so. There's 8 billion people in the world, and 800,000 of them have beaten you to this achievement. 0.01% of the world is ahead of you. You still have a chance to front run the rest of the 99%. And look, of course, I have no idea where Bitcoin goes in the next month, the next 6 months, maybe the next year. It could drop 20%, it could drop 40%, it could double. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because if you understand the value of the asset we're talking about here, the value of the technology and the market and the problems that it solves and the size of the total addressable market of those problems, your goal should be to get as much of it as you possibly can. If your goal is to hit 1 Bitcoin, you're definitely not playing for next month or not even next year. You're playing for the rest of your life and even beyond your life. Zoom out. And if you get there, you're holding something a tiny fraction of the planet can ever hope to own. The hardest money that's ever existed, with no CEO, no central bank, no dilution, no bailouts, no counterparty. Just pure, unconfiscatable money in your hands, or really, in 12 words in your head. So don't worry if you're not there yet. Don't get distracted by the fiat price swings or what your cousin thinks or what the news says next week. Just stay humble and keep stacking sats. Stay on the path, because if you ever do hit that 1 Bitcoin mark, you'll know exactly what it means and how rare it really is. And you'll know that you earned it. Drop a comment to let me know what your stacking goal is. Hit the like and subscribe button. Watch this video right here if you want to better understand and grow your conviction in Bitcoin. Thanks for watching the video. And as always, you never forget, quit slacking and start stacking.